Welcome back to Suncoast FYI. CADA helps connect young children with senior citizens to promote shared experiences. We're joined now by the Managing Director and co-founder, Ann Chandra.
Hi, thank you for having me.
A lot to talk about more than your organization, but we'll start with that first.
Yes.
So what is CADA and what does it stand for? And what do you do?
Yes,
lot in one question there.
So CADA stands for Kids and Elders Through Arts. And basically our goal, our mission, is to connect the older generation with the younger generation through a shared experience in the arts.
And what inspired you? How did this start and when did it start?
When did it start? We started about 8 years ago, and I actually love telling this story because I still remember it like it was yesterday. But my husband and I are both musicians. He's a clarinetist, I'm a violinist, and we both have private students. So when your student has been practicing and has a piece they want to perform, you want to try to find a venue where they will have an audience. And retirement communities are great because they all want to go to a performance.
Yeah.
So we were at one of these retirement communities doing a recital with our students, and the recital was great. And afterwards, a lot of the kids had come down and sort of started interacting with the older people, and we saw so many, people just talking and smiling, and how
lighting up.
Yeah, and lighting up.
Oh, gosh,
and I thought, wow, didn't really expect it. It was a surprise. And actually one of the women I think it was holiday time, and she had made like a Christmas ornament for all the students who had performed. And so she was in a wheelchair, and she was talking to them and giving this to them. And then I realized also that the conversation kept going. It didn't just stop at, talking about the music that they just played, but they had a conversation. And so we both thought, wow, it'd be cool to do this all over as much as we could. So.
Yeah. So obviously, this is why it's important.
Yeah.
So where did you take it from there?
So from there, we decided we had to go through the process of forming a nonprofit, which is a lot.
It is. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Oh my gosh.
But that was great. And then our first project, I think we did at a place, Plymouth Harbor, and we had students perform. And what we love doing is having not only students or young people and older people meet, but having them meet over a long period of time. So not just once, but over a weekly, even once a week or something like that. So they actually have a bond where they can talk about, and it grows into actually a relationship.
Okay. How do you manage that? How do they get together on a weekly basis?
We'll have a project we set up, and then I work with the communications director or the activities director at a retirement community, and she does all that part for me.
Okay.
And then I work with the students, and then we sort of communicate that way, and then we set up meeting times, and I would go with them and things like that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I imagine that a lot of our elderly community also are musicians, possibly. So they have a lot to share with the students back and forth.
Yes,
right?
and it's not just music we do. That's why we sort of put this umbrella of the arts, because we want it to be anything. It can be poetry, it can be, we have a woman that often performs from a play or something. So it can be visual art, it can be music, but it can be really anything that can fit under that cat. Dance,
drama.
Yeah. Yes.
So all of those come into play.
Those things,
So where else do you perform? Do you set up programs around?
Yeah, usually it's with a retirement community. That's where we've had the most success.
Okay.
And it's easy that way because we have people to help on that side.
Okay.
So usually, we do it at retirement communities and bring the children.
So retirement communities, they should really contact you
yes.
about having different performances throughout the year. It's not just one particular time of the year, right?
Yes, and our performances are something that we do pretty much twice a year. We didn't do it twice a year this year because of Irma, but it's similar to a recital, but it's actually much more unique in that we have the students, 3 or 4 students come to a retirement community, and then the retirement community has 3 or 4 of their residents perform as well, music or And then at the end, they all are on stage, and we ask them a few questions. They ask each other questions, and even then, from that short amount of time, they're like, oh, that's interesting. Wow, he's 85 years old, and he used to play the violin, and he used to go to school like me. And and then after, we have a little reception, and they end up talking more.
Okay. So what's the most rewarding part for you?
I think the most rewarding part is just watching and listening and
Yeah.
seeing, and like you said, they light up. And both, I think, the kids, I think, are sort of surprised at how much they like the older people,
Yes.
and the older people, these are treasures of our
Yes.
community. And
Yeah.
I think right now they're sort of compartmentalized. But this way, they're sharing their stories. They have great stories and all these, things to share. And so that part is the best, just watching it happen and how quickly that bond can form.
And that's it. When the arts transcend age, because I work at an art college, and I see that. If the love is there, the age doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Can I read the statement that you
Sure.
have on your?
Sure.
I really love this. It says, "Our community elders are our most valuable resource, matched only by the unlimited potential of our children." Did you write that? No, that
We
was.
both wrote it.
You
I think
both
my husband
wrote
and
it.
I,
You and you wrote it. I just thought
Can't
that
take all
was
the credit.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
thank you.
So I know you have a lot of projects coming up, and our viewers can go to your website and
Yes.
find out more.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
The weekend is almost here, so if you're looking for something to do, we have some suggestions that we'd like to share when we come back.